Hello, I'm Priscilla Batzell. This is Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery. This is a 12 by 16 inch canvas. I'm a Colourarte affiliate. I'm going to use some Frostbite, Prizm pour, a little Chantilly lace. I'm going to start my sky. I'm going to use a little bit of Tuscan gold, which is a new Vivid Intense, which is not coming out. But sometimes it helps if you open the top. I also have some Moody Lilac and paint chips. And I've pulled out a color I don't use very often, Pink Lady. We'll see if it'll even come out. And then I've got some quinacridone nickel gold from Golden. Which my intention is to use on top of some shiny taffeta. Oops. It's been a while since I've used this. It might work, it might not work. We'll find out together. No more paint chips though. I'm going to take some of this paint right now, put it right on the edge. Take that thing out that does not belong. Try and stop dripping. Put that right up at the top. Anything that falls into the painting to make it more interesting than my typical stripes is okay with me. I've got some weird green in there, but that's kind of, sky colors turn green sometimes, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to take everything that I get, including that extra dollop, and I put a little bit of Frostbite across the top of my canvas before I started, so the top is moist and it's easy to spread a little bit of color up there. Now I'm always telling people, because of the way the canvas folds over, that it's not always a guarantee that you're going to be able to have this be unframed. I'm really liking my colors. I'm going to try and keep from dripping into it again. Take that extra thing out of there. I'm going to get rid of the extra paint on my spatula. And utilize it. I did the same thing to the sides as I did to the top. I want to take a little bit of Chantilly lace across the bottom. And see what I get when I pull down a little bit of that Pink Lady, which I believe is a Prizm pour. Quiet because I'm focused. I'm going to steal a little bit more paint by running the spatula across. Every time I scrape off my spatula I get a new batch of colors. Alright, so doesn't much matter what goes on the bottom. I'm going to try and integrate what's going on the edge so that the frostbite isn't the only thing showing there. Go back one more time, because I can. Okay, maybe one more time was not the truth. I just scraped up some canvas, so I want that to be out of there. I am liking that sky. So I'm thinking about, right now, other than scraping off what I've got on my spatula and wiping it off, grabbing some Amsterdam white or black and attempting to put in a few swipes. And what do I want to do with them? I want to use a color with an open top. So what have I got here? I've got what looks like Burmese red. I'm going to use some green, some Fandango. Throw a little bit of true silver in there just because I need some colors. I've got deep amethyst. Is it open? It's open. Cool. I've got, I'll include the colors below the video. Silver Leaf, which is a new Prizm pour. And quick, like a bunny, I'm going to try and make sure that I can get that started. So I'm just going to use, initially to start with, some black cell activator. And I thought I didn't want it to drip over the side, but honestly I do. This is pretty much at this point in time what I'm going to refer to as a new technique. Need to get that paint bottle out of there. Just using the palette knife to spread some of the same colors that are falling down over the edge more evenly. Alright, so I might tip, I might not tip, but no matter what happens, I've got good colors. You know what? I said that, and I'm going to do it. And now that I've done it, I need to know what's going to happen if I put another swipe in there. A thinner one. Alright, I'm liking the green, and I've got some wintergreen. I'm going to try and do the same thing from the other direction. I may have to switch it around. Oops. This shirt used to be one of my favorites. It's quickly becoming a studio shirt. This is Fandango. I'm just going to keep with the same colors for right now. Deep amethyst. Let's see how I like it. I was looking for some green tea. I've got Wasabi, which is a really weird color, but it might help the other colors move, and that would be good. also got a fair amount of, it's not completely shaken up. So let's get my bottles out of the way. Swivel that. I'm just going to swivel it right from sideways. I could tip that toward the edge, but I'm not using an edge catcher. More black. I want some gold. It's listed under the video in the cell activator section. Just going to include a few funky little shapes, figuring I can cover up anything I don't like by adding something new. Letting the cell activator do its job over the edge. So far, so good. Although I want to steal some paint. If I put that blue so you can see it in the background, I'm going to have an instant body of water. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth, I guess. Although I could definitely use a wider spatula. So why don't I grab that and try not to knock over a whole bottle of tools. Come on. Hey. Alright, there's my smaller spatula. Here's my Fandango. A little more silver leaf, which is a wonderful color. Some more of the Burmese red. Which is not squeezing out terribly easily. I'm going to add some Tuscan gold. Hopefully that's what I called it the first time too. I'm intending on covering a larger portion of canvas. The wintergreen is a Prizm pour. Like I said, I'll include the descriptions underneath the video. Colors. This is Aztec bronze. And since I'm using the same colors, or said I was, I'm going for the deep amethyst again. And this time I'm going to do the black and the gold. And hopefully I have enough paint to spread out for a ways. And I purposefully pushed a bunch of paint right over the edge, thinking that it would be a good thing. Because it's a deep-edged canvas, better to cover it now. Alright, I'm liking all that. I'm thinking I might want some more golden color. I don't really want to lose all that green, but I also want to make sure my edge is covered, and I noticed there was a gap down there. Okay, I'm kind of liking all that. And what's the golden color I'm thinking of? I'm thinking it's going to be Emperor's Gold. Let's grab that paint again that I tried to knock over my tools with. Let's see if I can put it away without knocking anything over. Now I'm really looking for quite a copious amount, so I'm just going to put some in the body. And not worry about it until I get to that point. I want some more silver, true silver. That was deep amethyst. Some wintergreen. Some more Fandango. And I think I'm going to keep on with the same colors, so that would be Silver Leaf, and Burmese Red. Wishing I could get it to come out a little faster. And there's my tool, and I need to wipe off the small spatula because I don't want that to have paint dried on it. Let's turn that around. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go straight up and down. Hopefully you can see this. And I don't really care if I'm dribbling any gold in there. It doesn't bother me a bit. I back pushed again twice. Figured if I have enough paint, I have a shot at filling in. I've got 2 minutes. I'll give myself 1. We'll see what happens when I come back tomorrow, when this is dry. But for right now, just picking up my spare and putting it in, and anything that I find that leaks over. Now what I'm going to put in that gap, let's just grab some whatever's handy. I want some of that true silver is what I want. It's mixed with Fandango. Alright, my bottom's not covered, but my edge is, and I don't think the bottom's nearly as important as anything else. I can't do 30 seconds, so I'm going to say I'll see you guys in a second whenever the time runs out. Come on, move up. And any places that I've got canvas showing, I'll just drop my finger in for the moment while it's nice and wet and I can't do any particular harm. I'll also probably tip it down just to see if it'll roll. That depends on if I have anything I can pick it up with. There are my tweezers. It's a heavy canvas. We'll see if it's moving. It's moving a little bit. I see all kinds of stuff moving actually. This is cool. It'll create the topography of the landscape if it keeps moving. Okay, I'm back, and this is dry, and I digitally installed some trees over a sun shape, and I'm going to add that sun shape, and I think I'm probably going to use my fingers and a Q-tip to get it where I want it to be. That's a little Tuscan sun. This is a little holly berry added to sour lemon. I could use a palette knife, pretty sure. I actually wanted this to be a whole lot thinner than I just made it. But I think what I can do is just spread it out along the horizon line in the sky. Make a yellow sky. I want to be able to come back in half an hour after I have my lunch and add my trees. Although I am going to put some trees up here as well as down here. I like those shapes in front of the sun, so I'm going to make sure that it's a clean line, even though I'm planning on putting trees in there. I'm going to mess around with that paint and hope to take some of it away. I'm also thinking about putting some more pink in the sky. Just a different shade, like the Miami Magenta and some Frosted Berry. I know I'm doing things differently, so bear with me while I experiment. Oh. I've got cotton bud fuzz. I don't mind that edge on the sun though. And who knows, I could put some orange in there too when I come back. And the sky as well. Kind of really interested in seeing what happens when I do the Frosted Berry. Grab a playing card or something. In this case it could be just a tiny, no, I found a playing card. Hopefully that's okay. A small piece of acetate would work well also. Oh, I thought I had one, but it's a skin stuck to something. Alright, so now I'm going to try that Miami Magenta. Two ways. Come on out. Little dab will do me. Maybe I'm just going to put some right down. I want the change to be subtle. And since there's still Tuscan sun in the background, I don't need to worry about not putting my fingers in anything. I can just use my fingers. So I'm still finger painting. That didn't work very well up there, so I'm going to put some closer to where I can reach it, if it'll come out at all. I think I have a clot in this bottle, but I don't really want to take the top off right now. So I'll just give it a good squeeze. The only reason to use the playing card is so I have less paint than if I squeezed it directly onto the canvas. Also, I have a surface with some color on it, and that means I can move it around if I want to, like right there. Not that that was a great place, but... And it's pretty subtle so far. Can definitely use up all my extra right up at the top. Just use my finger to integrate it a little bit. Not much about that sun is going to show once I put trees in front of it. I think this is good for the moment, and you can't trust me. Maybe I'll put a little bit more in. I really like the way the clouds look. So that unfortunately means that I need more. Yep, there was a cloud in there. Well, it's gone now. So I should be able to do the same thing again. That was just using the residuals on my fingers. I want not one solid color. I want things to look a little bit mottled. I put a lot of Miami Magenta out there this time. Maybe I should put a little bit of Frosted Berry down there with it, so I have more to play with. Oh, I'm using both sides of the card. Fingers and cards this time. As I add the paint, I sort of get used to the brightness of the Miami Magenta, and I like it more and more. Also, it adds a dimensionality that I appreciate by adding layers. No lumps allowed though. Alright, I imagine this will be dry fairly shortly. Still got some little grainy things stuck in my paint. Come out of there. Maybe it's time for tweezers. I have some handy. Kind of want to start putting trees on there. Come on out. It's not coming out. No matter what I do, it's still there. Alright. Am I done with my clouds? Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'll wipe off my card and call it good, and I'll be back in a second, and the painting will be dry and ready for trees. I thought about putting some reflected sunlight down below too, but we'll see what happens in a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and after I finished last time, I contemplated using some pink carnation, but I did actually put a little bit of saffron and did move it with my finger. I need some stripes over the edge anyway. camouflage everything a little bit. Doesn't look quite right. I've got some chestnut brown, and it's in vivid enamel. Not that it makes any difference, but I believe it's a primary element. I am going to use, I'm going to use a little bit of the Moody Lilac in this sort of grayed out strip up here. It's a little green. And with that, I'm going to take a risk and hope I don't need a paper towel to wipe up, although I have some handy. And this is, why is this not marked? Acai berry. It's a new Prizm pour. Something tells me having a little purple in the sky won't be a bad thing. And hopefully it's dark enough to cover the yellow and the greenish stuff. And I like it enough, I might put it up top too. I know finger painting not my usual thing, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, I'm going to continue on with my weirdness and put some pink carnation in there. I like my fingers because I can smooth the color out as light or as dark as I want. And I like putting the new colors near the edges because the edges didn't really come out the same as the sky. Also, whatever this color was, this combination, it works extremely well in my opinion with the pink carnation. I'm just using the tiniest little pad of my finger. I want to lift that right up so I can go all the way to the edge. So I should make sure to tell you guys stuff. This other strip up here is kind of bugging me, and I'm thinking I'm going to go for a little bit of the Moody Lilac. I keep wanting to call it Twilight Orchid, and it's nothing like Twilight Orchid at all. But it is nice and gray. And this is still a little bit of blue over here. And I know it's very sheer. I'm pretty sure it's got something like, seriously, like interference in it. I'm a little concerned about that white, and I don't want to make it really dark, but I think I'm going to indulge myself in a little bit of frosted berry again. And that'll cure the little bit of canvasiness that I see too. Alright, so let's put out some Van Dyke Brown. If I can open the bottle, it would be a really good start. And it seems like it's going to come out, which is nice. Now I thought about black, and I could definitely do black. I've got a card I cut so I had a clean edge, and some pieces of acetate that are probably really hard to see. And I'm just going to try and use the acetate. I'm going to go somewhere up here first. Now part of me just wants to dip a skewer in. Might come off. It's not going to matter what kind of little blobs you have in there either, I don't think. Let me grab a skewer, prove my point. I had to be lacking talent right now. I think I'm going to use a Q-tip. This time I'm going to be smart and spit on it, because it really needs spit to make it work right. I haven't decided whether to put foliage on these trees or not. I really want to bring this up so I don't have to keep reaching over. Now I definitely think you could make the trees black. And a lot of times I'll just put a little blob down at the bottom. I don't know if I can do it here. Yeah, I can. And just pull up. That way you have more paint to work with as far as making branches. I'd like to make some of these look low on the trees, as if the little forest is receding. Excuse the frog in my throat again. Florida is so wonderful for pollen. Spring is coming and you know it. Trying to get just enough paint on the sharp end of the skewer that's the handle of my acetate tool, so that I don't blob out really as badly as I seem to be capable of. It's not a bad start. I could spend an awful long time getting these trees right. And I really want to put the ones in front. And I'm probably going to put some kind of foliage in there, but I'm not sure about it right this second. Yeah, I like the little tiny trees receding down the hill. Everything that you add as a layer creates some sense of dimension. This big tree in the middle is obviously got a huge trunk and is in the foreground as far as that goes. So it's time, and I want some black, and I'm going to put it right in. I was afraid it wasn't even going to come out. I'm going to try my tweezer trick. Try not to lean in the painting again. That was really close. So I get a little blob on the bottom. And then I pull up. I'm going to have to put some black in the other trees. And I'll probably use a skewer. But at least it seems faster for the moment. I should probably do that upside down, don't you think? They look more like pine trees than the others do. That was a lot of paint. Well, I kind of don't mind them, actually. I might flesh them out after you're gone, because I'm thinking that this is taking an awful long time. Yeah, just a little bit of black at the bottom of each trunk will make them look similar to each other. Although the brown makes them look like they come forward. I want to use the flat end, the back of the tweezers. Just mess some paint around. Make my trees just kind of funky. Fantasy trees. I want to just it's a finger painting today. I will put some black in my dish and I will make those trunks black. Actually, I might as well do some of that right now. I definitely love working with the tweezers, as weird as it is. I kind of wish I hadn't used the brown, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything either. It sort of makes me want to stick a little bit of it in the other, just to make them look the same. Yeah, anytime I put a little blob down and stick my finger in it, it kind of spreads the paint out nicely, but you better have a delicate touch or you might be sorry. I don't know what that black thing is. Maybe there's a house on the hill? I'll give it a tree, whatever. Maybe I can get some of it to come up. There we go. Tweezers save the day. Excuse me, Q-tip saves the day. Alright, I'm probably going to put some brown in the other. I see there's an issue over here. And I kind of like the trees going down the hill. And I've just discovered that if I put the silhouetted foliage up top, then I have some way to pull the trunks down. Cool. Alright. That's pretty much it for me, with the exception of moving that. Yeah, I had a blob of color, but I think that sky is pretty nice. I'm really tempted to add a little bit of orange crush, to tell you the truth, before I put my phone down. I'm going to use all my time up. I have a little bit of canvas showing. And I'm going to match it up with something over here. And grab one more Q-tip. Just hit the very outside of my sun, trying to avoid getting anywhere near that black. Okay, it is what it is, and I like it. I might pull on those little black bulbous tops there. I'm going to shimmer this at you. Tell you guys I love you. There's 33 playlists going on 34 with 100 videos on them each. The sky is gorgeous. I see if there's one little spot. I'm going to add some purple in there, right in that spot. I think that's where I hit it with my finger. Anyway, so thank you for the members. To the members for keeping my channel alive. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you'd like to be a member, it's $9.99 a month. And you help me afford to buy art supplies, to a point anyway. And there's over 200 videos in the members only library, and I post as often as I can, 2 or 3 new ones a month at least, and hopefully more soon. My community board will show you tomorrow's video. I post at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My link tree is underneath the video in the description, and it has my email address, contact information, a couple of websites. Excuse my voice, please. Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links. My Facebook is Priscilla Bassell-Artist. And my Amazon link. My 2 books are on my Amazon link, along with a lot of other tools and cool stuff that I like to play with. And it's at no added cost if you shop there, but it helps me out. My paint and pouring recipe is also under Show More. And my email address is easpbgallery and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. In case you want to contact me to purchase an artwork, please inquire. Or take a class with me at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. My paint pouring recipe, did I say, is under Show More? I think I might have said it twice. Please give me a thumbs up and know that the algorithm responds to the longer you watch, the better off I am. Anyway, this is cool. Thanks for joining me. I hope you come again. I'll see you tomorrow if I'm lucky at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, questions are welcome and encouraged. And anything I've forgotten, you'll see in another video. Bye for now. Priscilla out.